Today, we're going to talk about my first AD and DQ in USPSA. Let's start this off. We're not going to talk about AD and ND. USPSA calls this an accidental discharge. It's what it is. It's what I got disqualified for in an AD. You can argue it's an ND. I don't care. That's besides the point. So, this weekend, I went to my match. I think this is 8th or 9th time I've done USPSA, and like I said in my previous videos, I've been improving. I've been doing really well. I've been shooting probably about 25 years, and this is the first time I have had an AD or an ND, an accidental or negligent discharge. I've never had a gun go off without intending it until this weekend. And let's be clear, I'm not making light of this. This is something where I screwed up on. Period. It's on me. And fortunately, no one got hurt, and there was no injuries, no problem. And I will put a video up of it here so that we can go over it. So, this is the 5th stage. I get up there, I engage 2 targets, transition over 2 targets, and I go to move to the next shooting box. During that transition, I planned to do a reload. It made sense because I had to do a reload at some point on this stage. I might as well do it there. It's very interesting because what I believe occurred at the time and then what I see occurred by watching the video are 2 slightly different things. Again, no question. My gun went off when I did not intend it to. It was just the timing of it. I thought that my gun had gone off about 2 steps further along the line than it really did. It went off earlier than I thought. I also thought that I had already placed the magazine in the mag well, but again, I had not. So what actually happened, and then we'll roll this video, is I engage my 4 targets, I start moving, I hit the mag release button, magazine drops, and you can actually see in the video I no longer have a magazine. My gun goes out of frame, and you hear a shot fire, and you can actually see downrange that it hits pretty close to one of the other targets I was going to be shooting, but I was not aiming there, so it was, you could call this an AD during a reload, or it could be an AD by firing without engaging a target. Either way, it applies, and I got rightfully disqualified from the match. So, gun goes off, and I pretty much knew immediately that that's it, like game over, day's done. And you can see I kind of hesitate, and I didn't hear a stop command, so I figured, okay, maybe I mistook something. And, you know, eventually, it seemed longer than it was. The RO told me, stop, make clear, put your gun away, you're done. So that's kind of what happened. Let's roll this video and show you so you can see it. I'll go ahead and try to highlight where the round went, but you'll see a puff of dirt come up. But anyway, that's what occurred there. So, take a look at that video, you can see it completely on me. Again, I'm not making any excuses, I screwed up. One of the other competitors made a good point. We were talking afterwards and just trying to figure out what happened. At the time, I thought that it had happened while I was putting a magazine in that hadn't fully seated, and so I thought that I had hit it and jostled my finger. Looking back at the video, that's not what happened, because I was fumbling with the magazines after I got to my shooting stage. Looking back, I think what happened was my finger slipped as I was moving and contacted the trigger. We were talking about how we index and how we handle that. What I have been doing is I index here on my slide stop. you've got the little indent. I had been indexing on the slide stop. And this other competitor said, try just getting your finger out of the way. Just bend it as far out of the way and see if that works for you, because that's what he does. He said he used to do something similar. But he changed because indexing on the slide stop means you're putting some pressure on, and if your finger drops down, all of a sudden you've got pressure on that trigger. And it's not going to take much to set that thing off. Good point. So I'm going to go practice reloads and just get my index finger way the hell away from here. Not touching the gun whatsoever, and just see what happens, see if that's going to work. So I'm going to learn from this and come up with another manner, I guess, of my reloads, and just practice, and make sure that I'm doing better. Basically finding another way to make sure I don't have that AD. Good thing about all this, we have our 4 rules of firearm safety, and even though I broke one of them, the other ones were in place and we stayed safe. So that's the good news. Again, the rule I broke was keep your finger off the trigger unless you're ready to fire. Obviously, somehow, my finger contacted that trigger. How exactly, I'm not sure, but it occurred. And I just need to find a way to make sure that doesn't happen again. So, that's my story. That's what happened. Learn from my mistake. Don't do it. I am going to be more cognizant, not that I was ever lax on it, but I'm going to be more cognizant of making sure that I find a better way of, kind of a belt and suspenders way of looking at it, of keeping my finger away from the trigger, not just off the trigger, but physically away. So we will give that a go, see how that works, and go from there. But anyway, that's what occurred. Thought y'all would, someone could learn something from it, and we'll leave that at that. I've also got a couple other videos that I've been postponing, just in other news. I was going to do a video on a Form 1 suppressor, got that taken care of, but there's been some ATF nonsense recently, so I've kind of held off on it for that reason. Regardless, I have a Form 1 suppressor. It got approved. I went through the whole process, and I'm going to go ahead and do a video on that. Part of that I also need to make it out, and I want to show some performance of it so you can see how it actually performs. I got a couple other things that I'm working on too, but anyway, this is the one I wanted to put out this weekend. Kind of sucks, but like I said before, I'm not going to hide things from you guys. When I screw up, you guys get to know about it. I'm learning as I go. This is new to me, this competition thing. Well, I guess it's been almost a year now, but yeah, I'm still enjoying it. It was very much a kick myself in the butt type thing for the rest of the day, but whatever. I have learned from it, and I'm going to make a change so that it doesn't occur again. Anyway, that's it. Take care. We'll do it again another time.